Alright, what's up everybody? Thanks for tuning into my channel and checking out my new vid. This is me featuring my new Drizzt setup. Kind of frustrated because this is the third time I've tried to record this audio and this thing crashes. I used that garbage movie maker. It's very easy to use, but it doesn't support MP4 files and it makes this thing crash a lot. Actually, I had a trial version of Vegas Pro. I really hadn't messed with it too much. It seemed complicated, and I'm sure it's not. It's just me not wanting to learn because this is so easy to deal with, but this crashes so much it just pisses me off for the most part. But anyways, that out of the way, let's talk a little bit about this setup. If you don't know who Drizzt is, he's a character that I believe that was in the Dungeons and Dragons series. A long series of books was written about him, and supposedly they were successful books. Haven't read any of them. I'm not big into reading novels and stuff like that, but I did get introduced to this character in a series of games called Baldur's Gate, Icewind Dale, stuff like that for the computer, and then they made 2 action RPGs for the PlayStation 2 called Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance 1 and 2. Drizzt is a dark elf. He wears 2 scimitars. One's in the left hand that is actually a defending scimitar that's supposedly Preparian, and the right one is a Frost scimitar that is called Icing Death. It has ice properties. So I decided to use the crystal magic weapon to give it that look. He wears the hood, I think, in the daytime or in the daylight, because most dark elves in that world were from the Underdark, which is dark and it's underground. So in the daytime, I guess they were more sensitive to the light. So I thought about just wearing the hood when I go out to places like the Burg, and when I go and fight in the forest and stuff, just not wearing the hood and just showing his face. This guy here actually kills me. He thought he was cute with that moonlight blade and his special attacks. Still trying to get used to this whole setup. I haven't made an intelligence build. This is not really an intelligence build. It's just got 25 intelligence. But I hadn't messed around with intelligence and buffs since I used to do PvE back in beginning of old 12, late 11, when that's all I did was use an intelligence character. But yeah, as far as his abilities, I know he's got, you know, the 2 weapons, and he's got the ability to create dark orbs, I think, and you know where that's going. I'm going to use Dark Bead with this character, and with 25 intelligence, Dark Bead will not be overpowered. And these days with Dark Bead, you got to watch getting roll BS'd. So I've never used Dark Bead before. I plan on just bringing it out randomly like this and just using it unlocked maybe and catch them off guard. I'm hoping I can get 400 or 500 damage out of it, because I really miss the pyro. The pyro is very useful as far as you know, great combustion is good for a stop hit. Sneaky fire tempest can really win you the match. Hitting somebody with a fireball right off the bat can sway the match into your favor. So it's definitely a different experience. As far as the scimitar goes, they're not really great. I mean, you've got to be too close to them. And anytime I get close, I'm going to swing at least 3 times, just because I'm going to try to get as many hits off as possible. It's just so hard to get into range to hit somebody. You can see where I'm just dancing around trying to get in. And when you get in, you usually have to take a hit to get in, and that can be a chunk out of your life if it's something like a Balder side sword. So I had one guy message me, said I spammed him, and I'm not gonna, unless you do something that's just irritating, as far as like you say you pop a humanity or something. Yeah, I'll spam it 7, 8 times in a row and deplete my stamina bar on you. But usually about 3 swings is good enough, and I'll let you out of the stun lock. These are actually crystal ones, so I would advise, if you're using weapons these days, find somebody that can give you some slabs and make you some crystal stuff. They're pretty powerful. So other than that, yeah, this setup right here, 25 intelligence, and the basics of 40 decks, and the rest into endurance and vitality. Vitality it's like 50, and endurance rest into endurance. And this right here is one of my friends. Met him on the GameFAQs board. Had a lot of people message me and tell me my setup was cool. And I'm playing unlocked a lot, just because it seems to be more effective and you're more harder to target if you're just doing pure melee. And that right there, I could have got backstabbed, but he had the great combustion on. So yeah, that's this setup. And when we're talking about build creativity, this is not necessarily a new build. I mean, it's just a 25 intelligence build. And the build is kind of new to me, being that I'm not real familiar with the intelligence stuff, or it's been a while since I've used it. It's just the setup and the way he looks. I think it's cool. And I don't fight a lot of people with a heavy weapon, so I don't go for a lot of parries here. Just because, and I would have been parrying more if some people would have brought out some heavier weapons. I did parry a dude that was using a Zweihander, but I didn't include that match because that match didn't last too long. It wasn't worth including. Then I had another match where, what was the dude doing? He was using one of the great bows, and right when he came in, he was shooting it at me, and I kind of just ran up there and I backstabbed him off the cliff, pretty much. So this match right here went down to the wire, and I was using that running attack a lot, trying to time it and get that hit in. I had some pretty good matches. I think I lost that one a while ago, and that's might have been the only one I lost. Trying to get used to not using the pyro, like I said. It's definitely something just to rely on your weapon, especially one of the shortest weapons in the game. So you got to rely on, when you get in close, to deal as much damage as possible. And what I mean, I don't mean stun lock somebody to death, but I'm talking around, you know, do about 500-600 damage if you can before they roll out. And if they're just gonna sit there and let you kill them, and you can show mercy on them, but just do what you gotta do. And that guy right there should have rolled away. I hit him 3 times. I don't know. I had somebody message me telling me the crystal magic weapon was overpowered. That's the first time I ever used buffs. I said, man, you sound kind of like me. I ain't never really said it's overpowered. I just said it's super powerful, which I guess that kind of the same thing. But this is a 25 intelligence, 180 magic adjustment ivory catalyst. It's not like I'm going crazy with it. And getting a lot of an adjust from using the more powerful catalyst and stuff like that. Here I've got the Darkwood Grain Ring on. I'm just messing around with stuff, seeing what I like better. This is actually a low poise, being that I took the wolf ring off. And here this guy backstabs me. Any kind of attack that goes in a straight line, like that little double jump, is very prone to getting backstabbed. And that's when, last week when I was fighting Big Tata and he killed me several times in a row. Each match went down to the nitty gritty, but he still managed to get me. He was using the Darkwood Grain Ring and the what is it, the scythe? The scythe, actually, I looked it up. Other than the spears in this game, the scythe has the best range as far as attack goes in the game. So I was like, wow, let's see why he's doing that. And so I started using it for a few matches with the Darkwood Grain Ring. I did really good with it, but I did get backstabbed a lot. Just because that little attack does, it's like in a straight line, and it's kind of slow, so. And that's not really my style. I've messed around with the Darkwood Grain Ring, and it's just not my style. As far as the Darkwood Grain Ring goes, you know, he destroyed me. These 5-6 matches he won, and yeah, they were all pretty close, but it's not necessarily that it was him. It was more or less the Darkwood Grain Ring, just because that's what I have trouble fighting. I know I fought another guy that he killed me like 4 out of 5 matches, and then I was like, was like, okay, just for the sake of it, dude. If you're that much better than me, let's see if it's actually you or if it's this Darkwood Grain Ring that I have trouble with. And he took the ring off, and I killed him 3 times in a row. Red, pretty easy. And I was like, wow, that's insane. Because when I use the Darkwood Grain Ring, I don't use it effectively like I guess they do. One, I don't have a lot of patience. I just want to engage and get the match over with. But a lot of the Darkwood Grain users, you know, they gotta pick their shots. They gotta move and have distance, different forms of tactics relating to distance. So I guess it would just take time like anything else to get used to. But yeah, I don't. This right here was a nice backstab. And I was just wanting to see if I could do it. I mean, that was the most obvious backstab that I've ever seen. I actually unlocked, ran around him, ran around the house, and come back around and backstabbed him. I mean, this guy actually, he hits me a few times with that katana. Actually makes this match more close than it really should have been. But see, here's the thing with the scimitar. See how I'm swinging it? How many times am I missing? And then when I do get in the range, you think I only want to swing once? This is for the people that, you know, complain about spamming. But look, watch how many times I miss with this weapon. Miss. I mean, if you calculate in this video of mine how many times I miss with that scimitar and how many times I actually hit, then I mean the odds are against me there. So when I do get into range, I want to hit 2 or 3 times. So I want to hit the button 2 or 3 times. It's not that I'm spamming, it's just that I understand the way that weapon works is you have to be close. I mean, it makes perfect sense to me. If I'm using a spear, yeah, I can hit 1 time, roll, bounce around a little bit, hit 1 time, just because it's easier to hit somebody with a spear. You ain't got to get right up into their face. So this guy here, I'm ready. I'm looking forward to watching this match again. So he had the sunlight blade. So yeah, y'all tell me what y'all think about this setup. If you know who the character is, then tell me if this setup does him any justice. It's about the closest thing I can come up with. I'm gonna play with this character for a while. I may actually do a playthrough with this character and record it. I think that'd be cool. See, I hit him there twice. I did 860. And he's spamming the Wrath of the Gods. Yeah, I didn't spam nothing on him. I hit him twice. Then I hit once there. It's kind of the only weapon I have. Let's see what this guy's got. I think this guy actually almost kills me. There's a lot of people that almost killed me in this particular video. He's got the Darkwood Grain Ring on. See, I have trouble with this guy just because Darkwood Grain Ring. Like you swing and you hit him, and you don't hit him at all. So he's up to a good start here. I actually thought I was going to lose this, but I'm starting to realize what others do in this situation is they switch to this red tearstone ring. It's the first time I've ever done this. So like maybe I can get a hit in here and finish him off, especially with this crystal magic weapon on it. And I think this is actually the end of the video. You watch the rest of this, but I appreciate y'all watching and tell me what you think, and we'll see you next time.